Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the advantages. Part 3, we're going to talk about the advantages of being in a rural area in the Philippines. Not living in the city, but living in the country or by the beach. This was the lifestyle that I chose in the Philippines, living by the beach. And it's just gorgeous. Look at this beach, it's beautiful. Has the white sand, pure sand. It's gorgeous. You have the fresh air. You have the beautiful ocean. Can't see it very good back there, but you got the ocean. It's very beautiful. And it's clean. One time a gentleman came up to me and said, "I want to move to the beach." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "My doctor told me that it's the most therapeutic place for me to live. And if I want to have a long natural life, I should be living by the beach." So he wanted to move in a place like this, by the beach. And I told him, you really should move by the beach. Your doctor was right. Living in a rural area is much slower than living in a city. And you just have to take things slow. Sometimes people come from a hustle and bustle life where everything's moving fast. However, when you move to a rural area or beach area like this, you have to just kind of take it easy, take it slow. And if there's traffic in front of you, or sometimes in the Philippines there's a funeral procession and it goes real slow and you have to wait for it, just be patient and just let the things pass. Don't get upset, don't get uptight, just relax and calm down, because things move at a much slower pace when you're living in a rural area. Also, when you're living in a rural area, you want to have things to do. You want to have hobbies. You want to find the things that interest you the most and pursue those interests. Don't be bored, don't sit down, don't relax, don't just kick back and wait for the end to come. But get out there and do things every day. Think of, like, what am I going to do today? What's my plan? And you got to develop new hobbies. Maybe take up some old hobbies that you did before. As far as your health goes, you better be healthy to live in a rural area, right? Because there's not a lot of hospitals in these areas. So if you're always going to the hospital, always getting sick, like we talked about in part 1 and 2, you might want to be near a big city. However, I don't get that sick, just an occasional headache. So that's okay. And living in a rural area is just wonderful. Another benefit from living in a rural area is the traffic. There's not as much traffic when you live in these kind of places. The traffic is low, the pace is low, and you can get a car or a motorcycle if you're a foreigner. You have to pay cash. And then you can drive around yourself. In the Philippines, there's really good service, like they have vans and buses, and they have all this kind of stuff. So some people who don't like to drive or don't have the money or whatever, they take the public transportation. But for me, I have a truck and I have a car. No, I don't have a car. I have a motorcycle. And I don't like public transportation myself because, we had the COVID thing, and I like staying away from people as much as possible. Also, I like to be able to move fast. When you have your own motorcycle or car, you can go places fast. And when you're on a public transportation, you have to wait. A lot of foreigners, when they come to the Philippines, a lot of foreigners like sports and different things like that. There are sports bars and places. Also, if you can't find a sports bar or you don't like going to bars, you can subscribe to these sporting events in your own home. I have the NFL League Pass. I watch all the NFL games, mostly all. And I'm a big Los Angeles Rams fan. So I watch all the Rams games in the comfort of my own home. A lot of foreigner expats, they go to rural areas because they want to get away from the city. They want to come to the country or the beach like this, and they just want to chill. They want to enjoy their life. They want to go swimming in the ocean. They want to just have a good time. Getting away from the old style of life, the hustle bustle, bills every day, it totally changes when you're in the Philippines. Like we mentioned, the life is a lot slower, and you just can breathe the fresh air. There's fresh air. And then there's beautiful oceans with clean water. That's not really the case from California, where I come from. The oceans were black. They used to be beautiful when I was a little kid, and now they're kind of black when you go out in the deep end. and it's just different here. You go right out here, and in this area there's no sharks. There's sharks, but way out there, and it's just clean water. There's people out here swimming. There's a couple somewhere out here that's swimming, and they're just chilling. The same thing applies regarding housing. If you live in a rural area, just rent a place, and then you can go ahead and see if you like it. Spend some time in different places. And if you just keep renting, you can move around to different places. You don't have to be stuck in one place. So it's a good idea to a lot of people just to rent and pay month to month, and then they're free to pack up and move to a new location. I'm here in Boracay Island in the Philippines, and it's gorgeous. You have the best beaches in the world, top 10 best beaches. They went ahead and they did a big infrastructure, like $1 billion. They changed the whole roads. They put the telephone poles up high. They have red brick paver roads. They have underground drainage. Everything is over here in the Boracay. They've turned it into a first-class, world-class travel destination. A lot of people come here vacationing, and the beach is clean. There used to be like sewage coming out from some of these resorts and stuff on the beach. They've cleaned that up. They've violated the violators, and now everything is clean and fresh. And that's the way you want it when you come to a rural area. Living in a rural area, the stress level is so much lower than living in the city, or maybe your 9-to-5 job back in the States or Europe. So it's really nice for the stress level. What does that mean? That means you may avoid a heart attack. You know, when you have a lot of stress, it makes you old. It makes you wrinkles all over your face. And it gives you a heart attack. You know, when I lived in America, I had a mild heart attack because of the people I was around and the stressful life I had in America. But here in the Philippines, the stress level is down to like 0 or 1 because everyone is nice. It's a clean country. The Filipinos are good, and everything's in English. I can continue my language. I don't have to change language. Like other countries, you have to go ahead and change your language. But if you speak English, you can get by just fine in the Philippines. What do you think? You think a rural area is good for you? Just have that good health and just want to get away from all that stress in the city and just enjoy your life. The cost of living in the Philippines is way lower than in America. It does cost money, but it's way lower. You still have to do the immigration and everything like that, just like you would in a big city. Nothing changed. The Philippines is a law-abiding country, and it's a good country too. So if you're gonna think about retiring, you could choose the big city or the rural country life like I chose, and it's really great.